the page, we have year 2016. The projection was 500 million in terms of revenue. The revenue collection performance for 2017 compared with that of 2016 is itemized. 2016, the revenue projection was 500 million. We ended up collecting much more than the revenue projection. We had an income of 520 million plus. Therefore, our projection for 2016 was raised to 600 million. We were able to get about 558 million, which was 93% of our projection. So the difference can be seen from what we have. The difference in projection was 100 million between those 2 years, and with regard to the actual collection, the difference was about 37 million naira. So in compliance with all the rules, all of this money is collected went directly into the Consolidated Revenue Fund. None of it came into the bank account of the ministry. On page 31, we have the personnel costs. The personnel costs, 2017 personnel cost appropriation was 742 million, a little above that. Totally, we had releases amounting to 681 million. The difference between the total appropriation and the release was 61 million, while total utilization was all of the release sum. That is, 100% of it was utilized. On the next page, we have overhead cost implementation. 2017 overhead cost appropriation was 203 million. Total release was obviously less than 50% of what was appropriated. Total utilization was the whole of what was released, and outstanding balance on releases was 105 million. So the percentage of the release against what was appropriated was 48.27%. Of course, that whole sum was expended on overhead costs. The last on this is on page 33, capital budget implementation summary. 2017 capital appropriation was 6 billion, and that was to cover 97 different projects. The total capital releases was only 3.8 billion. The amount utilized out of these releases, of course, when we say releases, it was that was authorized. It was not totally utilized. What was utilized was 1.6 billion. The commitment to the procurement process, procurements which had been commenced but which were not concluded, was 2.1 billion. Releases totally was 70%, and the performance of our releases was 43.77%. Now, from what we have itemized, everything on revenue went directly into the Consolidated Revenue Fund. Everything on personnel was also handled totally by the Budget Office. By the Accountant General's Office. So these expenditures, that is personnel cost implementation, was directly by the Accountant General's Office, not by us. So whatever money that is said to have come in and expended did not necessarily mean that the ministry expended it. It was just in the books, and that was. So what we are concerned really, what came to us really, is overhead costs and the capital budget. The ministry implemented a total number of 28 contracts, and the ministry's activities are worth 1.6 billion over those projects. The status of implementation of these contracts has been shown in the table at Annex 3. So, Mr. Chairman, Deputy Chairman, distinguished members of this honorable committee, these are the summaries of the different heads of implementation of Budget 2017. Yeah.
Must they lump it together? They should have separated it if it is not intentional and if there's no motive behind it. It should have been separated from the beginning because the budget line didn't say that the consultancy. So if you have spent 9 million now and you say it's for consultancy, for what? So tomorrow you can also have consultancy for another segment of it. We should have the analysis of that head. And this time around, I want to caution that don't let us see such things again. Break it down and let us see. Then the director of procurement said, because it's a bidding process, there's always a technical thing. You have an idea of where you are going to. The essence of bidding process is to allow more people to come into competitiveness one, to look at technical you too. At the end of the day, you look at it in case there's ever elsewhere and do. So you don't tell us that you don't know the idea.
If they bid above the
budget process, the idea utilized is 40 have been issued. So let us amend that so that it becomes more clear. Thank you.
Particular budget item has been of concern to members of the committees in the National Assembly and the Senate. And so, in the next, as soon as the budget process is completed, please, you make arrangements that this committee will visit this spot in Gusau to assess what has been done so far. Because money is being spent on it year in, year out. Immediately the budget process is through, the clerk will write to intimate you when the committee is ready to visit this site.